worked! Holla, ballers and a pro fist to you all! The camera's on! Woohoo! We did it, Reddit! We did it! Yes! We did it as a team! We managed to make this whole shenanigans work! The show's working! Invisible Preacher's not here! It's me! The camera's on! That's right, I just need support. I need help. I need someone to hold me and carry me as we get into this stuff, as we get started, because holy God, man. What a week. Preparing for the big holiday. I'm gonna be in a different country next week at this time. How awesome is that? Like, 4 more sleeps, as my wife tells me. 3 sleeps, something like that. I'll be on a plane, and we're gonna go chill out. But in the meantime, making like 3 weeks worth of videos. I'm fucked. I'm absolutely fucked. Have you read a World of Warcraft? Let me ask you guys. How many of you go near a World of Warcraft forum right now? It's like you're purposely trying to give yourself brain death. Oh my God. I was like, oh, okay, let's see what people are talking about. Let's see if there's any big topics that I've missed, because I was doing stream week. Did I miss any big things that nobody brought up to me? And I thought, oh, I'll go check out some WoW forums. Went on the American forum, wanted to die. Went on the Europe forums, wanted to die. Thought about going on MMO Champion, killed myself. And that was about my limit of it. I was like, what the fuck, man, is going on with the players? What's the matter with you guys? You're playing a game. It's like being in a graveyard with you guys. It's crazy. Absolutely ludicrous amounts of just whine and rage and frustration. Warlords of Draenor was a successful expansion, though. Never forget. Never forget. Never forget. There are no good WoW forums to go to. There are none. There are no good ones that are like moderated properly. Take the crazy out, right? I don't mind MMO Champion if they could take some of the crazy out, right? Skim that layer of crazy and call that a day, right? Just skim that over the top. That'd be alright. Be a nice place. Nice and comfortable place to talk about some WoW. Instead of, I don't know, I can't even imagine what's on there. Let's guess. Let's guess. Something about loot. Something about how Legion won't save WoW. Raiding killed WoW. Casuals killed WoW. Elitists killed WoW. What else? Legendaries are great. Legendaries are really fun. They're not. At all. Did you see the new legendaries? The updated ones? Which one's the fun one again? Is it? Oh, right. Those passives that wouldn't even make it as like set bonuses. Them ones? They're the fun ones, right? Don't want to take that away. Can't imagine a world where I don't have them. That would be terrible. What a world place. Mythic loot outside raiding. Yeah, definitely deserved. Let me guess for like, what would... Okay, let me try and guess this. Mythic loot outside of raiding. It won't be the challenge modes. Spoiler alert, the challenge mode system is going to be a disaster for casual players. It's great for raiders. It's going to be terrible for everybody else. Surprise, surprise. What? Farmable? Craftable? Craftable. 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 It's got to be craftable. I should be able to craft mythic quality gear. Am I right? Did I nail it? Crafting. Yeah, it has to be crafting. It has to be crafting or something like... It won't be RNG drops. It won't be. It'll be crafting or something. I deserve the best items in the game for crafting. It's got to be that. Nah, random drops. No one advocates random drops. Not even the craziest of people advocate random drops. It's got to be that. Craftable mythic. I imagine that's the argument. It's got to be. Because that you can do on your own. What you've got to understand is most of the arguments about this stuff that get raised is based on doing stuff completely in your own. I'm not saying there's craftable fishing, mythic gear, but I bet that's the argument. Am I wrong? I can almost put money on it. I can almost put money on it. But no, there's no craftable mythic items as far as I know. As far as I know. But there you go. That's my guess. That's my guess of the current topics of the day. And some sort of nostalgia thread. Vanilla was the best. TBC was the best. Wrath was the best. Mr. Pandera was the best. And Kata was the best. Something like that. Something along those lines. It is the argument, yeah. Kind of figured so. It has to be something you can play on your own. Because everybody else is crazy. That's generally what I read every couple of weeks or so. Raiders are all crazy rages, right? It's like being in a gladiatorial pit raiding. You get thrown in and it's just people screaming at you constantly. Just screaming and berating you. You piece of shit. You call yourself a raider? That's raiding, apparently. So I'm told. I've never experienced that, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, that's not why you're here right now. That's my own personal drama of today. You can probably track my ever-declining appearance over the next couple of days, working day and night to get everything done. But hopefully it should be good. Done all the dungeons, done all the artifact quests. Who has the worst artifact quest? Put it to your chat. You might have even seen it. It's the fucking worst thing ever. I can't even believe it's an artifact quest. It's unbelievably bad. Have a guess. Have a guess who has the worst one. And, of course, class analysis. This is what you should be getting over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, I'm still going to be here this week. And then I have a wedding on Saturday. And then I fly out literally Sunday morning. So there should be videos coming out then. Ret Pally, Arcane Mage, no. Rogue, Dis, no. Blood DK, no. Dis, no. Holy Priest, no. Holy Priest is really good, actually. If a little overtuned, I think. Holy Paladin. The Holy Paladin artifact quest is the worst thing ever. I don't even know what the fuck is going on with that quest. I actually filmed it. The true story. I filmed the Holy Paladin quest, and I remember that I signed off because I did them all back to back. And I remember I signing off saying, well, that was the worst quest I've ever done. And ended the video. And then a few hours later, I thought, maybe the quest was bugged or something? So I went and did it again. I, put myself through it twice just to make sure that I didn't, do any crazy mistake. No, it's really that bad. It's crazy. It's really weird. So, yeah, whatever. I suspect it's unfinished. It's really good in the Arcane Mage one, though, where he keeps calling you a priest. That's the best. Not to say they've just copy and pasted it, but you do get called a priest a lot in the Arcane Mage one. But the quest itself's really good. You get to ride a dragon. They can't be that bad. You get to ride a fucking dragon, baby. You get to ride a dragon, so there's nothing wrong with that. A famous dragon as well. So that's all good. Suffering for our sins. Yeah, I went back and did it. I was like, do I really? Is this true? No joke. I went AFK on part of it because I needed to put my son in the car and came back and the NPCs just did everything for me. I was like AFK and it worked. So weird. But tuning to be done later. Okay, that's not why you're here right now. It's drama time. Why are we filming it on a Wednesday? It'll be Friday for you in the YouTube world, and that's because I'm going on holiday. So we're going to do the dramas on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which means there's one tomorrow and one on Friday. And that will be my last live appearance for a couple of weeks. As we fly away, I'm going to write the final bits of the next legacy while I'm away. Going to chill out with my book on a beach, write all my notes, and then we get straight to filming when I get back, which should be all good, man. It's all getting set up. There's lots to do. So let's get into some drama. Now, we're going to start off because we started with a little bit of fun there, and I don't want you guys having any fun on this show. Yeah? Better get a little serious. So we're going to tell a really horrible story, which nearly made me cry, honestly. It's fucking tragic shit. Holy crap. It's so bad. But still, it's WoW related, and it's true, so we'll do it. I know I've spelled that wrong. Yeah. Right then. Da da da. Da da da. Right then. We need a wifey. Waifu. We need a waifu. Who shall be... Where's my ladies at? Jimenez. I hope I'm saying your name wrong. Right. I hope I'm saying it wrong. Jimenez. We need a friend. Who shall be... Craft. I'm using surnames for the Patreon now, by the way. I was using first names, but they're far too generic. So people weren't sure if it was them or not. So it's surnames. We need an officer. Who will be Little Page. Little Page. Yeah. And another friend. Who hopefully I can remember the name. Who will be Cyclone. Cyclone. Boom. Nailed it. Let's see if they fit. Perfection! Look at that! Couldn't have done it any better. Mr. Ghosty and his graphical prowess. Kicking ass and taking names. Right, this is really evil. Sorry, but we're going in. We're going in. Let's start off with a little background, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get a little background into how the story builds. The drama part is Wardera. That's right, in the Warlords of that Draenor. Act 1, then, how I met my wife. I started playing WoW in vanilla, but I never really got into raiding until Wrath of the Lich King, which is a long fucking time, bro, to be keeping it all cash-like. I joined a Finnish-only raiding guild. Not that one. Important, not that one. It was a casual raiding guild. 3 raids a week. Come Ulduar, we had quite a solid little 10-man raiding group, and we cleared most of the hard modes. In the Trial of the Crusader, we got the 10-man heroic no wipes achievement, and in the Ice Crown Citadel, we killed all the bosses except for heroic Lich King, which, to be fair, for a 10-man only guild, was way overtuned. In the guild, I had made many friends, namely Cyclone. I had a great time playing with Cyclone, and we were among the top players of our class. Cyclone was a Retribution Paladin, and I was playing a Marksman Hunter. We chatted a lot about all kinds of random stuff with Cyclone and his IRL friends in-game. All going pretty well. Pretty well. With the announcement of the new expansion, the Cataclysm, an old guild on my server, also pure Finnish goodness, but with more serious attitude to raiding, began to form its ranks. The guild had been dead for the majority of Wrath, and some of its members had raided with my current pleb guild. They asked me to join them for the new expansion. If you cleared up most of the ICC hard modes up to the Lich King, that's not a pleb guild. It's not. It's really not. I did not have to think about it at all. It was all I wanted. I would now be part of the cool guys, racing for rank 1 on the server. With the expansion launch, Cyclone had migrated to another server, and I didn't hear from him for quite some time. During Kata, I raided with my new guild, but when I got to the age of 19, chest hair sprouting, just before the end of the first tier, I got called to the Finnish military service. A full year, 362 days. I was not able to raid during that time, but I still played WoW when I could, mainly that PvP in that arena. At the end of my military service, Diablo 3 was released. I played Diablo a lot. And so did Cyclone. We played a lot together, and one day he invited me to a group trying to beat Belial on Inferno difficulty with his WoW guildmates. It was in that group. It's about a year. Come on. It's about a year. It's pretty close, alright? It's pretty close. Hey, that's not exactly a year to the day. It's pretty close, alright? It was in that group when I heard the sound of my current waifu, Jimenez, the first time. She was in the group with Cyclone, and so was her boyfriend. I did not get interested of her then, partly because it's silly to fall in love with a girl just like that, especially in a game of Diablo. And also, she was taken. Oh, I did have music on, my bad. And also, she was taken. And I was a man of honor. No cheating stuff or anything like that. After I finished my military service, Cyclone asked me to join his guild, and wow. I leveled up, joined the guild, and later Cyclone asked me to go and meet him in another city, IRL. We had a great time with Cyclone and his best friends, also playing in the guild. While playing in the guild, I talked to many of the members, including Jimenez. We talked a lot, but I didn't feel anything between us at that point. Just normal guildy stuff. No feelings there. Later, Cyclone wanted to have another little guild meetup. I tried to convince Jimenez and her boyfriend to join, and even offered them a ride in my BMW. But her boyfriend wasn't having it. He didn't want to go. But Jimenez said, "Fuck it, yo," and she came along. I started up my shiny red waxed pussy magnet BMW, slap it, and headed to town next to me. Picked up a guildie and then went up to pick up Jimenez and head to Cyclone's place. Yeah, waxed his car, boys. Waxed it. A lot of alcohol was consumed that weekend. Jimenez was a few months away from 18. I was 20. We found out that Jimenez was having a bad time with her boyfriend. Oh no. And she had been thinking about breaking up with him for a while. During the meetup, it was pretty obvious to everyone present that Jimenez had the hots for me. And I'll admit, I gave her the nod. Good-looking young woman, playing some Warcraft, also actually wanted to have sex with me. What more can a WoW nerd dream of? But nothing happened between us that weekend, friends. Nothing went down, despite the boyfriend being absent. But it was close. That's all I want you to know. It was fucking close. I didn't want to be the cheat. So how we moved in together and had a son. Week or two after the meeting, Jemana's and her boyfriend parted ways. She later called me and said, "Come, see me." With a raging boner in hand, the other on the gear stick, I jumped into the car and drove all the way to her town. And ended up doing the deed. She hadn't even moved out of her old apartment yet, right? She hadn't even moved out of her old apartment that she shared with her ex. But her ex was away at the time due to the breakup. In the man's bed? He still lives there, bro. Bro, he still lives there. Just saying. I'm just saying. Later, when she found a new rental apartment, I helped Jimenez moved in. I met her father. I was introduced as a friend at the time. Around 2 months later, though, I moved the fuck in as well and formed the Unity. Jimenez was the love of my life. She was hot. She shared the same music taste, and we both liked all of Blizzard's games. I could be myself and not worry about what she thought of me. No acting. No bullshit. Just pizza, video games, and filthy loving. During MOP, my old guild from Cataclysm days came back again, and I was asked to join them. So I did, and I brought Jimenez along with me. Then our relationship started to get real fucking serious. We were both sure that we would continue the rest of our lives together. 20 years old. We would have kids and play video games with our kids. Everything would just be a perfect meadow with gumdrop dreams. Jimenez started to really have baby fever. 19. And talked a lot about why we should have that baby. Let's make a baby. Eventually, she got me to think so as well. We should have a baby, I thought. You're right. We ended up dropping protection like a big sack of dicks and thought it would not be insta-proc. Anyways, RPPM shined in our favour. Boom. Pregnant as fuck. Nailed it. Jimenez was still studying. She was to graduate as a chef. Oh, she's a chef as well? Dude, bro. Dude. Dude, bro. Dude. Nice. Yeah? Nice. Nice. Just saying. She's a chef. Yeah? She's a chef. Nice. She was due to graduate as a chef next summer. And she was due to give birth at the end of that same summer. We were 19 and 21 years old. We had known each other for over a year. It's a long time, friends. A year? Of course, I was thinking this was too early to have a child when she got pregnant, but decided she's amazing. And I had never regretted it, even to this day. That's true, Gorilla. My mum was a chef. She never cooked at home. She never cooked. It was the start of Siege of Orgrimmar. A downhill hill for us all, right? Pregnant or not, love or not, Siege of Orgrimmar will fuck up your relationship. You got that? Siege of Orgrimmar will fuck up your relationship. That is a guarantee, friends. I was still actively raiding as one of the tanks in my guild and committed. After Warlords and 20-man Mythic was announced, our guild officers started to search for another 10-man Finnish guild to merge with for Warlords. We quickly found a guild with matching raid times and progress, and we made a successful guild merge during those long, long days of siege. It was from this guild where I met Craft. He was the raid leader of the second guild. Let's fast forward to the action. We held many IRL meetups with 20 plus participants every 6 months, and we had really tightly fused core of raiders. But the summer of 2015, it went bad. The storm gathers. Summer 2015. It was the first meeting Jimenez would attend and also the first meeting I was responsible for organising. It went crispy. Great success. After the guild meeting, Crafty and Jimenez started to chat a lot. In-game. I knew about this and sometimes asked what they were talking about. There was never anything suspicious. Everything seemed kosher. Crafty was 25 years old, economics student, on the other side of the country, for Christ's sake. My wife, Jimenez, and Crafty talked about their childhood and all that kind of boring shit that I didn't want to listen to, wife. Shut up. Crafty did not really have any friends he could talk to about this stuff. So I thought it was good for him to have someone to vent to, yeah? Talk emotions and shit. Me and my wife lived in a town quite a long trip away from our parents. So we found ourselves with very little time for just the two of us with a baby there. Our son is was now 2 years of age. And Jemanas had decided to start studying again. In another field of work, though. It was the start of her studies where I started to see the change. There's change coming. She became distant. Week after week. If I tried to talk to her, she said everything is fine. It's fine. 2 weeks after Jemana started her studies, she attended a mandatory party. Mandatory party. Hey, it's mandatory, right? Mandatory party in the middle of the week. Our son had to go to daycare in the following morning, but I wasn't able to do that since I cracked on at work at 4:30 in the AM, team. 4:30 in the AM. And daycare didn't open till 7. In the party, Jemana's called me while I was about to go to sleep with our son side of me, making sure he was cool. She said, she's not going to be able to drive the next morning. And she asked me for our friend's number. Little Page. Who she knew was an old guildmate of mine, lived in the same city, and he didn't drink, so he was most likely pretty good. And most likely he was at the party as well. I gave her his number as the plan would be that Little Page would take our son to daycare the next morning. Good man, Little Page. Good man. Jemanas had not been out drinking in over 2 years. Breastfeeding and all. And apparently, all the beer had gone to her head. I had no time to worry about it because I had my son by our side. Went to sleep. The following morning, I found Jemanas and I found Little Page sleeping on the couch with their clothes on. It's a couch that you can turn into a 2-man bed. I didn't wake them up and went to work, yeah? Fully dressed. Everything looks good, right, team? It's all good. Your man's taking the kid, you know what I mean? It's all good. Clothes are on. Belt's fastened, yeah? Shoes are off, but socks are on. All good. After that day, though, Jemanas was a different human being, is the only way I could describe it. She started to act really coldly towards me, and it made me worried that if something had happened to her at the party. But everything was okay. She said she was just tired. Just tired. I didn't believe her. I knew something was up, but I never suspected her of anything like cheating or anything like that. 1 week to our anniversary. Wedding anniversary. Jemana's dropped the fucking A-bomb on me. Prismatic crystal, folks. I want to break up. She told me she was too young for this marriage bullshit. She made a lot of new friends when she started studying again and felt the need to be part of the student life, yeah? Get stoned, rake the bong. Rather than being some sort of family mother. I was stunned. Devastated. I tried to talk to her, get her to change her mind. But she was unwavering. She was stone cold. She told me that I could do nothing to change her mind. But she said she would think about it. If you promise to end this conversation now, I promise to think about it for definite. 2 weeks after the party, 1 week after the breakup card had been played, I'd been depressed, lost my appetite, dropped 10 kilos during those 2 weeks. Considering I was just eating like coffee and maybe 1 or 2 buns while working a physical job for 10 hours a day. The day before our anniversary. The day before our anniversary, she said, I've thought about it and fuck you, we're breaking up. She had given it thought and she said it was the best for her. To me, this wasn't making any sense. So far, we'd had a solid relationship. We'd had a 2-year-old son who was kick-ass and taking names. And then we had our first real bad time, which I didn't understand where it was coming from, and she was throwing in the towel. It didn't seem to make any sense. I couldn't get a valid reason why she wanted to break up. She just did, without warning. Nothing made sense to me. I decided to call 1-800 mother-in-law. Boom, big guns, yeah? Poppy Bloodlust. The next morning and ask her if she had noticed or heard anything about Jimenez. She was as shocked and or stunned as I was. And didn't believe what she was hearing. She wanted to talk to Jimenez in person. Find out what the fuck was going on in her head. So mother-in-law comes to our apartment. Along with my mother. 2 mothers, double deuce, twin barrels, shotgun. They wanted to impart some womanly life facts on the table. Yeah? You're about to get mothered. Deuces. Deuce mothers coming at you with life advice. You're going to get fucked. Yeah? You're going to get educated. You're going to learn today. They wanted to lay down that you can't just have a bad day and throw away a relationship. But she was fucking stalwart, friends. Shield wall popped. Nothing seemed to change my wife's mind. As the mothers called it a day and left the apartment, Jimenez was 100% sure it was over. I was feeling even more depressed because the reasons that she mentioned were all ridiculous. Like that she had to break up with me because I left the laundry to dry too wrinkled up and it was annoying. Have you seen this towel? Look at it. Look at this towel. You think I can be with this man? Look at its crease. Ridiculous crease. This would never happen at home. Never. I would never allow this. She'd never even mentioned the laundry to me before. I honestly don't even recall doing it that often. I had our car fixed at the car shop that day. I rode my bike there to get it. Get some fresh air. On the way, I decided to stop, grab a coffee, probably Starbucks, and make a few more calls. I called Jimenez's best friend. She didn't know what the fuck was going on. She was surprised about the breakup. Then I called Little Page, thinking he might know if something happened at the party. He brought her home. After all, it was the party where everything seemed to change. So I said, Little Page, what the fuck's going on, bro? What happened that night? And he told me, you deserve to know. Jimenez was really drunk. She was giving lap dances and kisses to a guy that night. It hit me in the stomach. I can't describe how bad that felt. All the way up to that point, cheating hadn't even entered my head. What would be the point? But it got worse. Little Page continued. I'm sorry, bro. That guy was me. He then told me that they had sex on the couch after I had left for work that morning. And then after he had banged my wife, he took our son to daycare. Oh! Oh. Oh. Bro. Dude. Fuck me. Wow. Holy fucking Jesus Christ. Woo! It gets worse. Oh. Okay, I actually feel a little bit sick. This is a tough story for me to get through, by the way. It felt like someone threw sand on my face. And it hit me with a shovel right after that. At the same time, I felt anger towards waifu and to Little Page. But at the same time, I felt relieved. What? Which bit? Why? I finally knew why my wife was acting so weird. It put aside ideas that maybe she had become ill and not told me, or that she'd been attacked or something like that. For the first time, I had gotten some answers. I thanked Little Page for being honest, for telling me what happened. Right. I returned home Jimenez had put our son to bed. So I said, Jimenez, sit on the couch. I asked her, is there anything you want to tell me? She said she told me everything. I asked her if she'd fallen in love with someone else. She said that she had not. I said, have you cheated on me? She said she had not. 3 no's. I exploded. I exploded in anger. I called her a liar and a slut, and that she banged little Paige on the very couch that we were sitting on right now. That is his cum stain. And that's your splooge. I could see fear in her eyes. She was stunned by fear in the situation that I had found out. She told me that she wanted to take that with her to the grave and never speak of it. She was so guilty and embarrassed about what she had done, and she saw it easier to escape. I tried to tell that I could forgive what she had done, and we could continue. But she said she could never look at me again without remembering how much she had hurt me and what she had done. The discussion, of course, moved to our son. It's important. And we both wanted to get custody of our son. The thought of me getting the main custody of our son, as I had discovered the truth, was too much for her to handle in that situation. So she grabbed her jacket and left the fucking house. Thought for her to see less of her little boy was a big hit, and she wanted to go away and think about the next move. I tried to talk her out of not leaving, but I decided not to physically prevent her from leaving. I made it very clear that she could come back and sleep in here, on the couch, that I still didn't want to break up with her. She told me she would find a place to sleep somewhere and left. That was on our anniversary day. It gets worse. I couldn't sleep after what happened, and I told Jimenez's mother about what had actually gone down. Afterwards, I spent a few minutes on the computer trying to think of something else before going to sleep. Almost did an LFR, but decided against it. While I was on my PC, though, I saw Crafty online. He felt like a friend I could trust with anything. I told him that I had just found out that Jimenez wanted to break up with me and that she had cheated on me with little Paige. And that she had gone in the middle of the night when I found out. Before I went to sleep, I sent a text message to Jimenez telling that I hoped she would come home for the night. I was worried for her safety. She was still the mother of my child. In the morning, I received a message, I'm safe. I instantly called her. She answered. I said, where the fuck are you? And she told me that she was in a city called, can't say. I knew that Crafty lived in that city. So I asked again, where exactly are you? She told me that she was at Crafty's house. She had driven 8 hours worth of trip overnight to the other side of the damn country. I couldn't believe my ears. I asked, why the fuck have you done that? What are you doing there? She told me she felt safe there. I told her, I continued to ask if there was anything going on between her and Crafty as well. I told her I'd find out sooner or later like I did before, so just admit it now. She told me that yes, she had driven to Crafty's and banged him. I asked if he was there now. He was. He was asleep next to her on the phone. I heard him stirring as she passed the phone. I could almost smell the fear through the phone when I asked him what the fuck was going on with my wife. He told me she only came here and went to sleep. He tried to lie. I told him that she had told me they had banged. That guy was dead to me then. So dead. It was his luck he was so far away. I can't imagine what I would have done. I told him to give the phone back to Jimenez. I said, I'm so disappointed that you've turned this into a bad soap opera. Even then, despite everything that happened, I didn't want to break up. What, bro? What? What? There's still a chance? What? What? Why? Because she plays Diablo? And WoW? What? What are you doing, son? What? Oh. There's still a chance. Jesus. I didn't want to break up. I'm not even sure why, but I wanted to keep on fighting and save it. Maybe it was for our son, maybe it was for me. But Jemana said that there was no way this was going to come back to normal. Crafty was the raid leader and guild master at the time, and I left the guild and left a message on the forums with the lines, you can thank Crafty. The guild collapsed a week later when they found out what the fuck had gone on. Jemana's mother called her and got her to drive back and stay the night at Mommy's house. After that night, Jemana's came home with her mother. She watched after our kid while we sat down and had the big talk. The big talk. I found out that Jemana's and Crafty had been chatting a lot more than I was aware of for lots longer than I thought. For several weeks we shared an apartment and I continued to try and... You stayed with her. For several weeks we continued to share an apartment. And I continued to try and convince her to stay with me, but I couldn't. She told me that she wanted to live alone and take our son with her. I wanted custody. I believed I would have better situation in raising him after what happened. I looked for a new job with better suiting working hours for me to get custody. And she also talked about Crafty. How I shouldn't blame him for her. Instead that she had told Crafty that they had broken up that night and that she was available. They were on a break! They were on a break. It's fine. They were on a break. They were on a break. But I had talked to Crafty just a few hours before. Told him everything. I even told him that I still loved Jemana's very much. Even after cheating on me with Little Paige. He knew what was going on. I trusted him. And he still did the deed. Then Jemana's found herself a new apartment. She moved out. She took out my son. I had no word on it since I wasn't able to take him to daycare with my working hours. I looked for apartments, got my old town, close to my parents so they could participate better in their grandchildren's life. It was part of my strategy, you see. I had a job, cash money coming in. She was a filthy student. She was a cheating wife, while I was cool as a cucumber. I did everything to save our marriage, even when the shit hit the fan. I would also live closer to the kids' grandparents, which would be a huge bonus. So part 6 then, the light at the end of the tunnel. I found a new apartment close to my parents a few days after I signed the papers. Jemana's came over to talk to me. She did not know yet that I was moving away from the city. I heard words that made sense to me from her. She told me that she regrets everything. Of course. Little Paige was a drunken mistake while she was lost in her life. Being a young mother while others of her age go out and party all night. Of course being drunk is no excuse to cheat. We both agreed on that, but what's done is done. Once the dick's in her mouth, it's in her mouth. She said that Crafty was just another stupid mistake. When there's a small bad season going on in your life, and she found someone who was nice to talk with, someone new, she was charmed by the moment, and his talks made our current situation seem worse than it was. Jemana's was honestly asking for forgiveness, and me to take her back. She wanted back into the team. She wanted her old raid spot back. I told her, go fuck yourself. I found a new place to live. I'm moving out of town. She was devoed. She was devoed! We talked a long time what had happened, I think overnight, and talked a bit more. She suggested that she'll continue the studies until the summer and move to my apartment and we could start over again in a new city. I was ready to forgive her and move on as a family. Today I'm writing this story of mine. The relationship is healing. Oh, I've probably not done you any favours then. Uh-oh. And the future does seem better for us. Jemana's is moving in with me in a few months. The end. I know it's probably a bit late, but don't look at the chat throughout the reading of this and just hate me. Can you do that? The end. Holy shit, writing this thing down took over 4 hours. And I really just want to go to bed now. I recently made an application to your guild, but they have not yet judged me.
Hey, you know,
shit, dude. Stuff happens. But no. That's on you, brother. Just saying. That's on you. That's not on me. I'd say no. No. I don't want anything to do with it. Okay. Okay. Our next story then is one of rage in the funny way. Oh no, Ghosty's gonna shoot me. I fixed it. Don't look, Ghosty. It's fine. Nothing happened. Yeah, I'll admit I didn't know that last paragraph was coming. How could it? Did any of us see that coming? I don't think so. I don't think any of us knew that was coming. So yeah, there you go. Who's in this one? Okay, we need a rage dude. We need a rager. It'll be Ruby. Ruby. Is that really your surname? That's awesome, bro. I believe there's one more friend. Yes, there is. And a friend. Who will be Price. Oh my god, Call of Duty. Freedom Knife. There we go. Boom, boom, boom! Ladies and gents. Holy crap. What have I pressed? I pressed something. We're fine. We're fine. We're still live. Excellent. Good news, friends. Good news, friends. Okay. I think everyone needs to, woo! You know what I mean? I told you it was bad, didn't I? And this is just the beginning. We still got Thursday and Friday to go yet. I hope you guys are in for, like, I hope you guys are in for the long haul this week. Let's go. Hello, Preacher Ghosty's not here. He was here last night. He was here last night, but he's not here right now. Today I bring you a short story about how anger and rage in video games can lead us to do some violent things. Our story takes place in the Wrath of the Lich King. Patch 3.3. I was 14 at the time. And it was around this moment that I met my ideal gaming friends through World of Warcraft. We would play with each other on a daily basis. Rude. We were all terrible World of Warcraft players, which is good. Being terrible together is fine because you can fuck up and learn. It's the best. It's the best thing. Nothing wrong with that. Our main aims in the game were to do heroics, yeah? Pug raids, which we considered to be... Let me put a question to the chat and I'll give you like 10 seconds to like answer this question. What do the 3 terabads, which is fine, by the way, the 3 terabads consider a pug raid as their raiding experience? Like, try and remember, for those of you who can't remember that far back, when you were really bad at WoW, and like you thought you were raiding, and this is pre-LFR, remember, it's pre-LFR. Wrath of the Lich King, patch 3.3, what's the raiding they're doing? No, LFR's not in the game. It's not in the game. It's not in the game. It's not in the game. Okay. Our raiding, our regular raiding resets were the Vault of Archivon, mate, and the first wing of ICC. What? Not doing anything past fucking Salfang, bro. No way, mate. In between that, we would fill it with... Yeah, everyone's got it now. VOA, the Vault of Archivon. How many times did you get into a VOA raid and there'd be one rogue? Or whoever the raid leader was, just his class. This raid has 1 paladin in it and 24 warriors. What's going on? Yeah, well, of course he's not inviting any more paladins just in case he's not fucking stupid. He made the raid. He used to love them fucking rings. He used to love that. 1 warrior, 7 priests. No problem at all. Did no warriors ask for an invite? Fuck that. Yeah, the first wing of ICC. Gunship. Can we do Gunship Heroic though, mate? We were doing Vault of Archivon and ICC first wing. And in between that, we would fill it with Wintergrass PvP, mate. Yeah. Classics. The Lagfest. Jesus Christ. Wintergrass PvP. It could have been so cool. Wintergrass could have been awesome. It could have been so good. Never had a good time doing Wintergrass. It was so bad. So bad. This surely was one of the most fun periods of time I can remember in World of Warcraft history. Of course it is, you noobs. Everything looks really epic. So good, man. So good. All good. This is when you have these fun memories. And I am still friends with most of the guys I met then to this very, very day. For this particular story, though, only two of them need to be named. They'll be Ruby and Price. Yeah? They sound like the guys from The Running Man. Whitman, Price, and Haddad. Look at them, living it up on the sunny isle. Do you remember? Yeah, man. On the fateful Wednesday, me, Ruby, and Price decided to join VOA 25, man. Yeah? For those who don't know, doing weekly VOA 10 and 25 was crucial if you were terrible at World of Warcraft and needed gear. It's Haddad. H-A-D-A-D. I'm pretty sure. VOA 10 and 25 was crucial if you were a bad player. Because, right, Toravon the Ice Watcher dropped loot with... This is the fucking worst line ever. Toravon the Ice Watcher dropped loot with a very high gear score compared to anything else that was available to people like us. Oh my god. Look at the gear score on that loot, though. Need it. Need it, though. Need it. Gear score. High. Big number. Look at the item level, though. I went on my prop paladin, which is my main. Ruby went on his prop warrior. Which he had just recently capped a few days prior to this little pickup group. So he was still in heroic dungeon blues and generally terrible gear. I don't remember what Price went on, but it's not relevant to the story. Nothing out of the ordinary happened while the group was being formed. Just the usual standing outside the raid, summoning people, watch them Hearthstone back to Dalaran, then summoning them back again, then watching them run off randomly, then summoning them back again. All the while, we're shooting the shit in the Skype call. At some point, though, Ruby jokingly mentioned that if the tier legs for those warriors drops off Toravon and I lose the role, I think I'll lose my fucking mind, though. Pretty serious, yeah? After a few minutes, the group was ready. And we begun the loading screen, which usually crashed us due to our PCs. Into the raid. Most difficult part of the 25-man raid, mate. Getting through the fucking door in it, mate. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. PC's grinding to death. Trying to download all the bits. It's not a joke, confirmed. That's funny. This is tough stuff, this. I hope I get inside today, guys. It's going to be good if you do. First time. It's going to be a good day. Our group was only going to do Coralon and Toravon. As they were the only bosses in there who dropped loot with a decently high gear score at the time. Oh, what was the other one? Was the other one called Archivon? Because he became irrelevant at some point, didn't he, bros? Do you remember? He became irrelevant, the other boss, because his gear score was too low. Not killing that, mate. No way. Was it Archivon? I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was that one. Yeah, Vault of Archivon. Archivon, Coralon, and Toravon. I'm not going to lie, we may have wiped once or twice. Pretty tough stuff in VOA. Pretty tough stuff. You got to focus. You got to get your game face on when you're facing these bosses that are designed to be killed all at the same time for the achievement. But you got to game face it, yeah? Got to game face it. We killed Coralon without any major hiccups, at least not from what I remember. But then came Toravon. We may have wiped once or twice, seeing as pugs tended to have troubles dealing with the frozen orbs in the fight. Once we killed him, though, we were all astounded to see that the prot warrior tier legs actually dropped. Ruby started cheering with excitement, seeing as he was the only prot warrior in the raid. The raid warning popped up. MS rolls, sanctified, Emerja, Lord's leggings. And Ruby immediately rolled. He didn't roll very high. Somewhere in the 50 mark, I think. We gratzed him on the huge gear score boost. But then the predictable happened. One of the DPS warriors rolled for the legs and rolled a 98. The raid leader wasn't a warrior, so yeah, you have to bear in mind, right? Everyone who put together a VOA 25 only gave a shit if it was loot they wanted. If it wasn't anything for them, they just fucking threw it around, man. It was up for grabs and whatever, deal with it. He rolled a 98. The raid leader didn't pay attention to what spec the guy was who had seemingly won the loot roll. So he just looted them and left the group. When the messages X had received the sanctified Emerja Lord's leg guards popped up in the chat, Ruby screamed, "Fucking cunt! Cunt! Cunt!" at the top of his lungs, followed by the sound of him throwing his headset on the table and walking away from the PC. Me and Price started laughing because it was funny as shit. And all we could hear was Ruby screaming as if he had popped Berserker Rage IRL. Then suddenly, though, in the midst of the screaming and the cursing, we started to hear loud crashing sound of him destroying something in his room. The sound of his rampage went on for quite some time. We were dying of laughter on Skype. Then suddenly, the smashing stopped. And Ruby started to laugh in the background. At this point, me and Price were more concerned than amused. It was getting a little weird, honestly. We waited, called out to him, see if he would come back. Eventually, he sat down by the PC again and put his headset on. He was chuckling to himself. We asked what the crashing sound was and why he was laughing. Apparently, after he had thrown the headset on the table, he stood up, grabbed a hammer that had been lying in his room for quite some time, and went to fucking town on his bed while screaming and shouting. It occurred to him just how badly he had destroyed his own bed. He started to laugh instead. We thought it was hilarious. He sent us a picture of his demolished bed, which was now just pretty much a pile of wood planks on the floor with a mattress on it. I would show you the picture, but it's gone now. After this incident, we went back to just chilling on Skype. Ruby was home alone when he destroyed the bed. After about 30 minutes, his mom came back home. She entered his room, was shocked to see that the bed was ruined. She obviously asked Ruby what had happened to it, and Ruby didn't know what to say. The excuse he came up with was, "I just lay on the bed and it broke," with a serious face and tone. This made us laugh to tears on Skype. We had seen the picture of the bed. It literally was just a complete mess lying on the floor. Some of the planks had even been snapped in half. Not surprisingly, his mum didn't believe him. But she didn't ask for the truth, as she probably noticed the hammer that was lying on the desk and figured out what happened from there. Over the next couple of days, Ruby kept complaining about neck and back pains due to having to sleep on the demolished bed, which his mother refused to replace immediately. What a mum! You need a new bed. Eventually. You'll get a new bed. Eventually. But not right now. No. Not right now. Someday. But not right now. Eventually they bought a new bed for him. So if we think about it, losing that role might have lost him the tier legs, but at least he won a brand new bed. The reason why I submit this story is because me and Ruby brought it up yesterday in our raid, and our guilders felt that it was a funny story to be featured on Drama Time. It certainly was. I hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you for reading it. Yeah, pay for it yourself, son. Fuck that. Oh, wait till my son does some shit like that. Oh, I'll get him back in the most evil of evil ways. I still will. Delo found the photo. Yeah, pretty close to us. Something like that, I imagine. Would be something like that. That does bring us to the end of today's Wednesday's drama time. And there will be one tomorrow. And there will be one on Friday as well, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad. 4 minutes. Pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you for remembering that we were having a drama today. Thank you all for remembering. And YouTube will have this on Friday. And of course, the ones tomorrow and on Friday will not be out for like 2 weeks. One of them anyway. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow, 4 p.m. GMT. That's London time. If you're not sure about the schedule, you can always just check when I'm offline. The schedule is the background on Twitch. The schedule is all there for streaming, guys. And I will be on holiday from Sunday. So don't show up for drama time next Friday and the Friday after that. All right, guys. No problem. Thank you for writing the stories. If you ever have stories to share with me, just send it to drama@preachgaming.com. And I'll read through it and hopefully we'll have some fun. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day, guys. Holy Palette is either today. Let me check. In fact, the BM Hunter releases in 3 minutes. The BM Hunter releases in 3 minutes. The schedule is also on Reddit in the Preach Gaming subreddit, I should say. But yeah, the BM Hunter video should be out in 3 minutes. I'm spacing them out because I'm having to make videos that are going to come out over the next like couple of weeks, all right? So it's going to be pretty good. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.